Friends, so far we have studied about light, definition of light, and then we have studied about property of light. We have also got reflection and common terms and definition. Continuing those topics, today we will study about law of reflection. अब तक हम लोग इंसिडेंट रे, पॉइंट ऑफ इंसिडेंस, नॉर्मल, रिफ्लेक्टेड रे, एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस और एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन को पिछले वीडियो लेक्चर में डिस्कस किया जा चुका। उसी को कंटिन्यू करते हुए जो नेक्स्ट टॉपिक आज के लेक्चर का है वो है लॉ ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन। इसको कंटिन्यू किया जा रहा है। गो टू द नोट्स। व्हाट आर द टू लॉ ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन? यू हैव रिटन इन द नोट्स। द फर्स्ट लॉ इज the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray at the point of incidence on the boundary of medium all lie on the same plane at the point of incidence. Yes or not? And what is the second law of reflection? The angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Listen here. Let this be a surface. From source of light, a ray of light is falling like this. Let AO is falling on the surface. What is OA? OA can be considered as incident ray. OA will be the incident ray because OA is falling on the surface and O will be the point of incidence. Any problem? Now next we will draw perpendicular, where perpendicular is drawn at the point of incidence from the surface. A perpendicular is drawn from O to the surface. Let ON be the perpendicular on surface and let the surface be MN. ON is normal, ON is representing the normal, and as per reflection, whenever a ray of light strikes a surface, it returns back. When OA, the light ray OA from source of light hit the surface MN at O, it will return back. Let OB be the reflected ray. Any problem? OA here, OA is incident ray, ON is normal, and OB is reflected ray. Angle AON is angle of incidence, and angle BON is angle of reflection. Any problem? Now listen, the first law of reflection. The incidence ray, I mean OA, yes or not? The normal, it means ON, and the refracted ray, it means OB. OA is incident ray, ON is normal, and OB is refracted ray. These are three light ray, I mean incident ray, normal, and refracted ray at the surface. It touches the surface at the point of incidence. OA is falling at O. We are drawing normal from O, and the incident light ray after hitting the surface at O is returning back from O, forming OB as reflected ray. Yes or not? I mean incident ray, normal and reflected ray, they all are coplanar at the surface at the point of incidence. है ना? O incident ray है, ये surface को किस पे touch कर रहा? O पे। हम O जो पॉइंट ऑफ इंसिडेंस है, हम O एंड नॉर्मल ड्रॉ किस पे कर रहे हैं? पॉइंट ऑफ इंसिडेंस पे, और जो रिफ्लेक्टेड लाइट रे है वो O से ही रिटर्न कर रहा। यही तो फर्स्ट लॉ था रिफ्लेक्शन का। जो इंसिडेंट रे होगा, जो नॉर्मल होगा, जो रिफ्लेक्टेड रे होगा, वो सरफेस पे एक ही पॉइंट पे लाई करेगा, और वो पॉइंट कौन सा पॉइंट होगा? O, और O यहाँ पे कौन सा पॉइंट है? पॉइंट ऑफ इंसिडेंस। एनी प्रॉब्लम? है ना? इंसिडेंट रे, नॉर्मल, रिफ्लेक्टेड रे, ये तीनों लाइट रे सरफेस के एक ही पॉइंट पे लाई करता, और ये पॉइंट क्या होगा? पॉइंट ऑफ इंसिडेंस। ये तो फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन है। क्या? द इंसिडेंट रे, द नॉर्मल एंड द रिफ्लेक्टेड रे एट द पॉइंट ऑफ इंसिडेंस आर कोप्लेनर. इट मींस दे लाई ऑन द सेम प्लेन एट द पॉइंट ऑफ इंसिडेंस ऑन द सरफेस. एनी प्रॉब्लम फर्स्ट लॉ में? नाउ कम टू द लॉ 2. OA is striking the surface at O and it is returning back. Always while hitting a surface, the reflected light ray will return in such a way that the reflected light ray is making the same angle with the normal that the incident ray makes with the normal. What is angle of incidence? The angle between incident ray and normal. And what is angle of reflection? The angle between reflected ray and normal. Always the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Yes or not? This is the second law of reflection. Always in case of reflection, the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Okay? Listen, here angle AON is incident ray, angle BON is reflected angle of reflection, and angle AON is angle of incidence. As per second law of reflection, always angle I will be equal to angle R. Any problem? What are the two laws of reflection? What are the two laws of reflection? The incident ray, the normal, and the reflected ray at the point of incidence are coplanar. It means they lie on the same plane at the point of incidence. And according to the second law of reflection, the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Any problem? Now, based on the second law of reflection, Let's come to few cases. Suppose in first case, suppose a ray of light is falling on a surface making angle 30 degree with the surface. Could you conclude what will be the value of angle of incidence? Listen. What is the question? A ray of light is falling on a surface making angle 30 degree with the surface. Suppose this to be a surface. A ray of light is falling on a surface. Let AO is falling on a surface and it is making angle 30 degree with the surface. The angle in the question, the angle is given with the surface, not with the normal. Let ON be normal. Of course, the incident is making again two angle, one angle with the surface and other angle with the normal. In the question, what is given? The angle, the 30 degree, the angle made by incident with the surface. Is 30 degree the angle of incident? No. 30 degree is the angle made by the incident with the surface. What is angle of incidence? The angle of incident is the angle made by the incident with the normal. Angle AON एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंट है. एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंट हमको पता नहीं है, लेकिन हम एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंट को इजीली कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. किस तरह कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं? क्योंकि ON नॉर्मल है सरफेस पे, तो एंगल MON कितना होगा 90. तो इस रेस्पेक्ट में अगर हम एंगल AON का कैलकुलेशन करें, हम इसको 90 माइनस 30 लिख ही सकते हैं. ये वैल्यू कितना होगा? 60 डिग्री. कोई प्रॉब्लम? इसी क्वेश्चन में अगर ये बोला जाए, यू हैव टू ट्रेस द पाथ ऑफ रिफ्लेक्टेड रे. हाउ कुड यू ट्रेस द पाथ ऑफ रिफ्लेक्टेड रे? You can. Now since the angle of incident is 60 degree, as per second law of reflection, the angle of reflection will be also equal to the angle of incidence. How could you trace the path of reflected ray? Now you have to draw a line segment. You have to draw a ray OB such that OB is making 60 degree with the normal. Angle BON will be the angle of reflection such that angle I is equal to angle R, which is equal to 60 degree. Any problem? Now in the same question, in other question, suppose a question is given such that a ray of light is falling on a surface making angle 40 degree with the normal. What will be the value of angle of reflection? Yes, the answer will be 40 degree. Why? In the question it is given that the incident ray is making angle 40 degree with the normal. Whenever an incident ray is making angle with the normal, the angle will be the angle of incident. But if in question the angle is given such that incident ray makes angle with the surface, the angle of incident will be 90 minus the angle of incident minus the angle made by the incident ray with the surface. Any problem? Now an important conclusion now. Okay. In case of whenever a ray of light is falling obliquely on a surface, you can easily calculate angle of incident and angle of reflection, and so you can also trace the path of reflected ray. Okay. Now suppose a ray of light is falling perpendicularly on a surface. How could you calculate the value of angle of incident? How could you calculate the value of angle of reflection? And how could you trace the path of reflected ray? It is one of the most important concepts, and I think it is the first question of your part 1 H-Chan question. Question like this, and it has been asked numerous time in board also. What happens whenever a ray of light is falling perpendicularly on a surface? In case, now listen. Now we will calculate the value of angle of incidence. We will calculate the value of angle of reflection, and also we will trace the path of reflected ray whenever a ray of light is falling perpendicularly on a surface. Let us see. Let this to be a surface, M and B. Surface. Consider from a source of light, a ray of light is falling perpendicularly like this. Okay. Let this be A, this be O. What is OA? Incident ray. From source of light is OA. From source of light, OA is falling on the surface. OA will be incident ray. The light which falls on the surface is called incident ray. And O is point of incident, because at M and the OA is falling at the point O can be considered as the point of incidence. Now, what is the value of angle of incidence? What is angle of incidence? The angle between incident ray and normal. Thus, to determine angle of incident, first you have to draw normal, and normal is always drawn at the point of incidence. What is the point of incidence? O. Now from O, from point of incidence, a perpendicular from the surface has to be drawn. If you draw perpendicular, you will observe that the normal overlaps with incident ray. Of course it will overlap. Why not? The incident ray also perpendicular to the surface. O is the point of incident. Again for drawing normal, you are drawing perpendicular to the point of incident. Incident ray is also perpendicular at the surface, and normal is also perpendicular at the surface. Of course, the incident and normal will be coincide. And since how could you now what will the value of angle of incident? The angle of incident is the angle between incident ray and normal. Since incident ray and normal coinciding, what will be the angle? Of course, the angle of incident will be 0 degree. Just note down it. Whenever a ray of light fall perpendicularly on a surface, what will be the value of angle of incident? It will be 0 degree. Why it is 0 degree? Because the incident ray and the normal overlaps with each other. Yes or not? Since angle of incident is 0 degree. Why 0 degree? Have you understand? Because incident ray normal have been overlapping with each other. They are coinciding. Now, since angle of incident is 0 degree, as per second law of reflection, the angle of reflection will also equal to 0 degree. From law of reflection. Now, a reflected light ray is to be drawn from point of incident such that the angle between normal and reflected ray is 0 degree. What you conclude? Of course, the reflected ray will be same line as that of normal. I mean B. Here OB is reflected ray. Yes or not? है ना? एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंट 0 है तो एंगल रिफ्लेक्शन भी क्या होगा? 0. एंगल रिफ्लेक्शन 0 है तो नॉर्मल और रिफ्लेक्टेड के बीच का एंगल कितना है? 0. नॉर्मल तो परपेंडिकुलर होता है सरफेस पे, है ना? नॉर्मल परपेंडिकुलर है सरफेस पे, तो इसका मतलब क्या होगा? रिफ्लेक्टेड भी परपेंडिकुलर ही होगा सरफेस से, क्योंकि एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन क्या है? 0. तो रिफ्लेक्टेड उसी पास पे क्या होगा? रिटर्न हो जाएगा. ये बात समझ में आया क्या? यहाँ पे ओ ए इंसिडेंट रे है, हम ओ ए नॉर्मल ड्रॉ किए, एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंट 0 है, एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन भी 0 होगा, और क्योंकि एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन 0 है तो नॉर्मल और रिफ्लेक्टेड क्या करेगा? ओवरलैप, है ना? तो कंक्लूजन क्या मिला कि जब भी एक सरफेस पे रे ऑफ लाइट परपेंडिकुलरली फॉल करता ना, तो जो इंसिडेंट रे का पाथ होगा वही रिफ्लेक्टेड रे का पाथ होगा. क्या हमेशा? नहीं. कब? जब व्हेनेवर अ रे ऑफ लाइट इज फॉलिंग परपेंडिकुलरली ऑन अ सरफेस ओनली. यस और नॉट? तो व्हाट यू हैव कंक्लूड? व्हेनेवर अ रे ऑफ लाइट इज फॉलिंग परपेंडिकुलरली ऑन अ सरफेस, द इंसिडेंट रे, द नॉर्मल एंड रिफ्लेक्टेड रे overlaps with each other, they coincide with each other, and thus the angle of incident is 0 degree and the angle of reflection is also 0 degree. Therefore, the reflected will return back on the same path as of incident ray. Yes or not? In briefing, I am briefing the concept. Listen. Let this be a surface. A ray of light from a source of light, ray of light is falling on a surface like this. Since the ray of light is falling perpendicularly on a surface, the reflected will return back on the same path. The concept we will use numerous times from now. In fact, in case of the image formation in plane mirror, the same concept will be used. You have now you can easily now I think you can write the answer. What happens when a ray of light is falling perpendicular on a surface? Whenever a ray of light falls perpendicularly on a surface, the incident ray, the normal and reflected ray overlaps with each other such that the angle of incident is 0 degree. From law of reflection, angle of reflection will also equal to 0 degree. Since angle of reflection is 0 degree, the reflected ray will return back on the same path as of incident ray. क्या रिफ्लेक्टेड हमेशा सेम पाथ पे इंसिडेंट रे के पास से रिटर्न होगा या किसी पार्टिकुलर केस में? हमेशा नहीं. अगर रे ऑफ लाइट ऑब्लिकली फॉल कर रहा है सरफेस पे तो वहां पे वो कुछ ना कुछ एंगल बना रहा है 90 डिग्री के अलावा, तो वहां पे इंसिडेंट रे रिफ्लेक्टेड रे ओवरलैप नहीं करेगा. ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ कब होगा? अगर रे ऑफ लाइट परपेंडिकुलरली फॉल कर रहा है किस पे? सरफेस पे. जब भी रे ऑफ लाइट परपेंडिकुलरली फॉल करेगा किसी भी सरफेस पे तो क्या होगा? रिफ्लेक्टेड रे और इंसिडेंट रे सेम होगा, और उस वक्त एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंट एंगल रिफ्लेक्शन क्या होगा? 0 डिग्री. कोई प्रॉब्लम इसमें नहीं. अब हम आगे डिस्कस करते हुए जो छोटा सा टॉपिक बचा टाइप्स ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन, वो हम डिस्कस करते हैं. व्हाट आर द टाइप्स ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन? You have learned that there are two types of reflection. They are regular reflection and irregular reflection. Irregular reflection are also called as diffuse reflection. Now listen. Two types of reflection are regular reflection and irregular reflection. Whenever ray of light strikes a surface, it returns back. Now, a surface may be a smooth surface, a polished surface, or it may be a rough surface. A smooth surface has minimum irregularity at the microscopic level, while a rough surface can have enough irregularity at a microscopic level. Now, what will be the pattern of reflection from two different surfaces? I mean, from a smooth surface and from a rough surface. Listen here. The two types of refraction are regular reflection and diffuse reflection or irregular reflection. What is the meaning of regular reflection? Whenever a reflection takes place from a smooth surface, the definition of regular reflection, reflection from a smooth surface is called regular reflection. अगर रिफ्लेक्शन किसी स्मूथ सरफेस से हो रहा, उस रिफ्लेक्शन को हम क्या बोलेंगे? रेगुलर रिफ्लेक्शन. स्मूथ सरफेस का मतलब क्या है? अ सरफेस जिस पे माइक्रोस्कोपिक लेवल में भी इरेगुलरिटी क्या हो कम से कम, उस सरफेस को हम क्या बोलेंगे? स्मूथ सरफेस. फॉर एग्जांपल मिरर, फॉर एग्जांपल अ ग्लास, लेट दिस बी अ मिरर. A mirror is an example of a smooth surface. From source of light, consider the beam of light is falling on a surface like this. Yes or not? Since from the source of light, a ray of light is falling on the surface, this incident ray will be parallel to each other. Okay. Now, this infinite incident ray is incidenting the mirror at infinite point. Since the surface is smooth, for each point of incidence, the angle of incidence is same. Why? Why angle of incidence is same? The ray of light is parallel. The ray of light parallelly falling on the mirror, and the surface of mirror is smooth. Even at microscopic level, they are plane surface. For each incident ray, the angle of incidence is quite same. And from law of reflection, since angle of incidence is same, their respective angle of reflection will be also same. The ray of light will return like this. What you have observed? स्मूथ सरफेस से रिफ्लेक्शन हो रहा, सोर्स ऑफ लाइट से रे ऑफ लाइट पैरेलल आ रहा, वो पैरेलल रे ऑफ लाइट सरफेस के इनफाइनाइट पॉइंट पे अलग अलग पॉइंट पे हिट कर रहा, तो इनफाइनाइट पॉइंट ऑफ इंसिडेंस है. हर पॉइंट ऑफ इंसिडेंस पर नॉर्मल ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं हम. नॉर्मल जब इनफाइनाइट पॉइंट पे ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं तो हर इनफाइनाइट इंसिडेंट के जो भी नॉर्मल है वो सेम है. वो सेम क्यों है? क्योंकि इंसिडेंट पहले तो पैरेलल था और ये एक स्मूथ सरफेस जिसमें माइक्रोस्कोपिक लेवल पे भी इरेगुलरिटी नहीं है, वो सरफेस सेम है, वहां पे हिट कर रहा, तो सभी का एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस क्या होगा? सेम. और क्योंकि सभी का एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस सेम है तो लॉ ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन तो सेम होगा ही. एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन सेम है, ये सभी रे ऑफ लाइट पैरेलल ही रिटर्न हो जा रहा. हम क्या नोट क्या कर रहे हैं? हाउ टू डिफाइन रेगुलर रिफ्लेक्शन? रिफ्रैक्शन फ्रॉम अ स्मूथ सरफेस इज कॉल्ड रेगुलर रिफ्लेक्शन. एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट फॉर रेगुलर रिफ्लेक्शन इज व्हेनेवर refraction is regular, whenever reflection taking place from a smooth surface, the refracted ray of light are also parallel. Yes or not? Incident ray parallel, that parallel pattern of reflected. Okay. What is the meaning of what is the meaning of regular reflection? The reflection from a smooth surface is called regular reflection. Okay. ये डायग्राम है रेगुलर रिफ्लेक्शन का, ये रिप्रेजेंट का रेगुलर रिफ्लेक्शन को. एक स्मूथ सरफेस से रिफ्लेक्शन हो रहा, रे ऑफ लाइट पैरेलल आ रहा था, ये वापस क्या हो रहा? रिटर्न हो रहा. आगे देखो. In case of regular reflection, the reflected beam of light are parallel to each other. In fact, image formation takes place only in case of regular reflection. Whenever reflection takes place from a smooth surface, then only image formation takes place. We will discuss it later. Now come to irregular reflection. Irregular reflection also called a diffuse reflection. What is the meaning of irregular reflection? A reflection from a rough surface is called irregular reflection. Now, let this be a surface. This surface is not a smooth. There are lots of bump on the surface. There are lots of irregularities. From source of light, parallel beam of light is falling on a surface like this. Now, incident ray is parallel. Since the incident ray are parallel, but for each incident ray, the angle of incident is not same, will be not identical as in case of smooth surface. Why? The surface is not smooth. For each incident ray, the angle of incident will be different, and for different angle of incident, the reflected will spread in different direction. Okay, this is the case of irregular reflection or diffuse reflection. What is the difference between regular and irregular reflection? In regular reflection, the reflected beam of ray of light are parallel to each other, while in diffuse reflection, the reflected beam of light are not parallel, they are spreading in different direction. Yes or not? What is the meaning of diffuse reflection? Reflection from a rough surface is called diffuse reflection or irregular reflection. In case of diffuse reflection, the reflected beam of light is spread in different direction. In fact, no image formation takes place in diffuse reflection. Have you understand the types of reflection? The two types of reflection are regular reflection and diffuse reflection. What is the meaning of regular reflection? Reflection from a smooth surface is called regular reflection, while the reflection from a rough surface is called diffuse reflection. Image formation takes place in regular reflection. Image formation will not take place if the reflection is diffuse. Now, we will study about image and types of image. What is image? How people define image? Basically, an image is an optical appearance produced whenever an object is placed in front of a mirror or a smooth surface. एक ऑब्जेक्ट को जब हम स्मूथ सरफेस पर रख रहे हैं तो वहां पे रेगुलर रिफ्लेक्शन हो रहा और वहां पे एक ऑप्टिकल एफरेंस ऑब्जेक्ट का प्रोड्यूस होता, उसी ऑप्टिकल एफरेंस को हम क्या बोल रहे हैं? इमेज. एनी डाउट? Now listen, what is the condition when image will form? Image will only form if at least two reflected light ray either meet actually or virtually in front of the mirror or behind the mirror. In fact, this is the types. In fact, these two lines are defining the types of image. Image can be of two types. The image may be real, image may be virtual. In the chapter of light, we will इनफ इमेज फॉर्मेशन हम लोग को करना और सभी में नेचर क्लासिफाई करना कि इमेज रियल है या वर्चुअल. जो हम अभी 4 पॉइंट बता रहे हैं, इसी क्राइटेरिया पे, इसी कंडीशन पे हम ह्यूमन आई तक सभी इमेज को क्लासिफाई करेंगे. इमेज क्या है? इमेज एक ऑप्टिकल एफरेंस प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है जब एक ऑब्जेक्ट को हम कहां पे रख रहे हैं? मिरर के सामने, किसी स्मूथ सरफेस के सामने. और इमेज के फॉर्मेशन के लिए एटलीस्ट टू रिफ्लेक्टेड लाइट का आइदर एक्चुअल और वर्चुअल इंटरसेक्शन होना नेसेसरी है. ठीक है. इनफैक्ट जब भी इमेज का फॉर्मेशन होता तो इन्फिनाइट रे ऑफ लाइट का इंटरसेक्शन होगा, पर एटलीस्ट हम जब भी इमेज फॉर्मेशन करें कम से कम 2 रे ऑफ लाइट का इंटरसेक्शन को दिखाना पड़ेगा नोटबुक पे. अब आगे सुनो. टाइप्स ऑफ इमेज, रियल और वर्चुअल. इमेज 2 तरह का हो सकता है, रियल और वर्चुअल. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ रियल इमेज? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ वर्चुअल इमेज? ऑब्जर्व. In case of cinema screen, the image is formed in front of the mirror. In case of mirror, in case of plane mirror, the image is formed behind the mirror. Yes or not? Now listen. Image can be real, image can be virtual. The reflected light ray either can meet actually in front of the mirror or they does not meet actually but they appear to meet behind the mirror. This is the meaning of real and virtual image. What is the meaning? How could you define real image? Whenever two reflected light ray meet actually in front of the mirror, the image formed will be real image. The real image is formed by the actual intersection of reflected light ray. What is virtual image? If two reflected light ray does not meet actually, if two reflected light ray does not meet actually but they appears to meet behind the mirror, but they virtually appears to meet behind the, but they seems to appears to meet behind the mirror, the image will be virtual. What is the meaning of real image? If two reflected light ray meet actually in front of the mirror, the image will be real. While what is the meaning of virtual image? If two reflected light ray not meeting actually, I will give the example. What is the actual intersection? What is the virtual intersection? I will denote. But let us understand the definition of real and virtual image. What is the meaning of real image? If two reflected light ray meets actually in front of the mirror, the image will be real. What is the meaning of virtual image? If two reflected light ray does not meet actually, but they appears to meet behind the mirror, the image will be virtual. Yes or not? There are more points such as always, note down, and always a real image is formed in front of the mirror. If an image will be real, the image should be formed behind the mirror necessarily. While for a virtual image, the image is formed behind the mirror. Okay or not? A real image is formed in front of the mirror, virtual image is formed behind the mirror. Now, image can be classified inverted or erect, upside down, top and bottom down, or laterally inverted image. Now listen. If an image is real, the image will be inverted. Okay. If an image is virtual, it will be erect. A real image is always inverted. A virtual image is always erect. One more point. A real image can be projected on a screen. A virtual image cannot be projected on a screen. These are the 4 basic points of distinction for classifying real and virtual image. If reflected light are meeting actually in front of the mirror, the image will be real. If reflected light are not meeting actually in front of the mirror, they appears to meet behind the mirror, the image will be virtual. A real image is always inverted. A virtual image is always erect. A real image is always formed in front of the mirror. A virtual image is always formed behind the mirror. A real image can be projected on a screen, while a virtual image cannot be projected on a screen. Okay. Now, what could be the example of real and virtual image? Now listen. In case of concave mirror and convex lens, except for first case, in case of concave mirror, when an object is placed between pole and focus, and in case of convex lens, when an object is placed in optical center in focus, except these two cases, the concave mirror as well as convex lens always produce a real image. We will verify it, I think from next class. And what is the example of virtual image? What is the example of virtual image? The image formed by plane mirror, the image formed behind the mirror, it is erect, yes or not? The image formed by convex mirror, the image formed by concave lens are example of virtual image. could you distinguish between a real and virtual image? These are important question. I think this question will be asked in this board examination. What a real image and what a virtual image? The image formed due to actual intersection of light ray, of reflected light rays, called real image. The image formed when reflected light ray does not meet actually, but they appear to meet behind a mirror. The image will be virtual. A real image can be obtained on a screen. Virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. You cannot place a screen in case of virtual behind a mirror. You can? No. Point number 3, a real image is always inverted, virtual image is always erect. And lastly, a real image can be projected on a screen, a virtual image cannot be projected on a screen. Okay, hope these video lectures are helpful for you. From next class, we will discuss about mirror, plane mirror, spherical mirror, geometrical construction of ray diagram. Those will be too important. Okay, thank you.